right, everybody. Welcome back to the After Dark podcast. This is episode 2. I got a special guest in here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hey, what up? This is arsoulnal out of Merced, California.
Right on, right on. Thank you. I appreciate your time, taking your time out to do this. So how was your 3-day weekend, man?
Honestly, bro, I mean, with the heat wave and all, it's I just pretty much stayed at home, bro. Everybody was out and about, enjoying their 3-day weekend. I figured, you know what, just stay home, not go to the lake knowing it's gonna be packed. You know what I mean?
Definitely, bro. Especially out here, because you know how everybody in Merced is gonna go to the lakes.
Everybody and their mama's man are going to the lake. So you know what? Me and the wife and kids were just, let's just kick back at home, barbecue, and just chill. You know what I mean? But overall, it was a good weekend.
That's cool. That's cool, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's funny that you're saying that because Snapchat, that's everybody. And like you said, everybody and their mama went out to open their Snapchat at the lake or at the rivers. And I get it because it's hot. You want to go out, get wet and shit. But like you said, it's going to be packed, bro. But it's kind of be hard to maneuver around,
And I thought about it too. I mean, I was kind of debating whether, I got to get up early, got to go get a spot. And then it's just like, let's just kick back this year. I mean, it's the beginning of summer, so
you got plenty of time.
Plenty of time, go camping and stuff.
Right on. Okay, hey, so I had a question, man. Arsoulnal, where does that name come from? How'd you come about?
That name came about. I was there's been before I used to go by the Soul Seeker. This was back in 2006, I should say, I believe. Yeah, 2006. I was influenced with a lot of oldies growing up, and during that time I was collecting, compilations, rare soul oldies, a lot of the stuff that does not get played in the radio stations, all the top 40 hits, that was my thing, during my teenage years and stuff like that. But I was collecting CDs, and I just became the Soul Seeker. I started calling myself the Soul Seeker, and then I took a break for about 8 years, bro. Because right after collecting CDs, I started getting into vinyl, into records.
Yeah.
And so, I took a break from that, and then, during the pandemic and stuff, you know what? I told myself, I'm going to come back, and I see that the vinyl scene is just cracking right now. Everybody is just collecting records nowadays. It became, from a small group, a faction of collectors, it became a pop culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody is now collecting records, I said, you know what? I'm going to get back into the hobby. I'm going to start collecting. And I'm just going to call myself Arsoulnal. If I'm going to come back twice as tough, I gotta live up to my name. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty tight, man.
So I chose the name Arsoulnal. I was actually watching some YouTube videos, rap battles and stuff like that, and I came across this guy by the name of Arsoulnal. He's a freestyler. Out of I believe he's out of New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Correct. Don't quote me on that, but correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So he battles Dumbfounded out of LA, what's that other guy's name? Disaster, a bunch of guys, East Coast and West Coast battle rappers going at each other, And Arsoulnal, man, he I saw his battles, I was looking him up. This guy's pretty raw, Yeah. I think I'm gonna just run with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just be Arsoulnal of the rare collecting soul scene, And so that's just how it came about,
Nice. I like the way you broke that down, man. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay. So I heard, I didn't want to interrupt you while you were talking, but I heard that you said that you used to listen to a lot of oldies. Did you ever have any, like, Art Laboe CDs? He was real famous, so that's why I wanted to throw that out. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I waited. So, yeah, what do you think about that? You like some of his stuff?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Because I know he was real big back in the day, huh?
He was real big. I pretty much collected a lot of his volumes because he had an oldies but goodies series. He had the Dedicated to You series and all those. Yeah, so
those are the ones that make the girls' panties come off right there.
There you go, man. I mean, I don't know if you remember Power 106 back in the days where they used to play all the slow jams.
I was a little young, but I still remember it here and
there. Yeah, you know, they would play the Temprees, Delphonics, Dramatics. I mean, name it, bro. I mean, but I used to collect that, the Lowrider oldies out of Thump Records. Yeah. I had everything on CD, the East Side Stories on cassette. I mean, those, everybody pretty much, still to this day, they collect those on vinyl. And then I'm pretty sure they, I mean, they never run out. You know what I'm saying? There's always somebody looking for those records or the tapes, you know, but it's just a series of 1 through 12. And that's basically where the mata is, the root of oldies, you know, growing up in the neighborhoods and the barrios and stuff like that. So I gravitated to that, you know. But yeah, Art LeBeau, most definitely
so
collected his compilations.
So since we're on that, let me ask you another question. I know you listen to that, but what other types of music did you grow up listening to? Was it just that, or were you like everywhere? Any type of music?
I was everywhere, bro. I was universal. I listened to a lot of alternative 90s music.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was into Pearl Jam, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, Metallica, even though they were more on the heavy metal side. But I also grew up in listening to hip-hop, you know?
Yeah.
Hip-hop, just mainly like stuff that, you know, I grew up in the 90s, 80s and stuff. Little late 80s when I was just a little macaroni, you know what I'm saying? You know, I gravitated to a lot of the early hip-hop, you know? And then during the 90s that's when I started getting into, like, the oldies and stuff. Even though the oldies were being played, you know, at a young age growing up, because my mom, you know, she was a Chicana, man. She was a Chola, bro. You know,
I know exactly
she
what
had,
you mean.
she had all the good oldies, man. And I just never came to pay close attention to, like, I was already reaching my later teenage years, like during like 16, 17 years old. I just started, you know, getting into the soul music, you know, and learning the history of it. But I was all around with music, different genres and stuff.
Right on. Yeah. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I know you guys don't know, but I just want to say thank you on air for bringing me that poster of the Nirvana. When you said they
man.
Toured in Paris. That's a dope-ass poster.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Thank you, brother.
It's all good.
Okay, and yeah, that's cool, man. I'm kind of the same way. I like the oldies, and I like how you said that. Oh, your mom was Chicana, and it's just all that in the ghetto. Now, I don't want to just say ghetto, but everywhere, but mostly in the Mexicans. The Mexican families, you know, we got older uncles,
right.
our aunts, and fucking brothers, sisters, you know, they all bump that shit. So, I mean, I think we're pretty fortunate and blessed to have older relatives like that to put us up on game and listen to good music, you know what I mean? You know?
I mean, I used to just trip out, you know, my mom had these 45s, you know, they were small, you know, and I was like, damn, what is that? You know, to me, I used to just toss them across the living room like Frisbees, you know what I mean?
You didn't know they had that good music.
Yeah, man. My mom would come out and be like, what the hell are you doing, boy? You know, what's wrong with you?
Okay. Right on. So who were some of your mentors, bro, growing up?
Growing up, bro, as far as music goes, I want to say there's this DJ, radio, well, rest in peace, Mr. Mark Anthony Sanchez out of Fresno, California. He had a radio station. Called Radio Bilingüe.
I never heard of that one. No.
Yeah, he had a show. I think it was like 3 days out of the week at night, from 10 to like 2 o'clock a.m. You know, it was called the Bad Boy Sounds. And so one day I'm just, you know, I'm in my garage. You know, I'm just chilling, kicking back. You know, I'm playing my tapes, and I said, "Fuck it." You know, I'm tired. You know, listening to the same old shit. I turned on the radio, right? That time, I don't know if it still is, but at that time it was 88.7. So it was broadcasting, and he had his own program and stuff. And he was playing some good music, bro. He went from playing soul music, early 70s, funk, early 80s. You know, he just kind of mixed it all in one, you know. And there was a lot of music that he was playing I didn't know about, you know. And then I just kind of just stuck to it, man. I started listening to his show constantly, bro, every week. You know what I mean? It came to the point where he was taking in phone dedications I happened to call him in one time, and I told him, hey, man, I like what you're doing, I love the music, because sometimes, at that time, he didn't really expose the title or the artist of the music that he was playing back in those days. So I kind of hit him up and I told him, hey, man, what was that name of that song that you played earlier? It goes like this, and he's like, oh, man, I got to teach you, I got to teach you a little something about this type of music, He's like, it's a good thing you ask. I was like, why is that? He's like, oh, man, because there's more to it than just your ordinary common oldies. He goes, but I'll give you a pass. I'll let you know who it is. I was like, cool. I want to know. And then I know there's plenty more out there like that because I told him I've been listening to your show for quite some time, and I love the oldies that you're playing. I want to know, where I can find these oldies or what, And he's like, well, check it out. He kind of broke it down for me, and he's like, I went down to a swap meet down in LA. I picked up a couple of oldie CDs. He had this one CD called Chicano Legends. I believe it was Volume 1. And I remember him, because later on during that conversation, we kind of, met up and stuff, and he kind of saw what I was basically leading to, knowing that I wanted to know more about this type of music. So he was like, you know what? These are the compilations. These are the CDs I have in my collection. Check them out. So I'm over here, looking at the back of the CDs. I'm like, man, these are dope. I've never seen these CDs before. So yeah, man, those are bootlegs, man. Those CDs straight come from collectors, record collectors that have been around for years doing this thing. And I'm like, that's cool. How can I be a part of that? What do I need to do? He's all just start looking for records, And I'm like, all right, then, I would go to the moms and pop stores, here downtown. I would drive up to Fresno. There was this place called Spinners. And, I didn't know too much. I just kind of just started picking up the common stuff, the stuff that I would see, like the Moments, on Stang. I would pick up the Philly Groove, like the Delphonics were on there. The Ethics on Vent, which later during that time were kind of still underground oldies, but to this day they're known to be like the common oldies in the underground scene. I don't know if I'm making any sense. But,
no, yeah, I got you. That's interesting. That's why I'm listening. Yeah, brother.
I started finding records like that, bro, and they were all like 20 cents, 50 cents at the time. They were pretty beat up, but still playable and stuff.
Damn,
but
that's it? 50 cents, dude?
50 cents, bro. And
those
then,
are fucking steal right there.
At that time.
Collecting,
exactly.
Yeah.
At that time it was. So, I started picking up and I would call up Mark. And like, hey, check it out, bro. I picked this up, Have you heard it? Tell me what you think. And of course, his answer was, yeah, of course I've heard it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, you're talking to a veterano here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
That's cool. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to say something. That's cool that the dude took the time out to game you up a little bit. You know what I mean? And he wasn't a dickhead or stuck up. That he actually was like, hey, this guy's interested. You know what? I'm going to lace him up real quick. I like people like that because everybody don't know everything. You know what I mean? We all learn something from somebody. You know what I mean? But I like the fact that you could call him up and talk to him and shit,
Yeah, man. We used to conversate for hours, bro, just talking about soul music, man.
Yeah.
And just kind of just breaking it down and, what groups came from where. Out of Chicago, this group was from Philly, from Ohio, New York, even California, even the Bay Area. I came to find out that there was a lot of groups, soul groups out of the Bay Area.
Oh, really? Shit.
That did a lot of good stuff, bro.
Like, were they underground or were they already known?
They were underground, but
okay.
At the time, I did know, like, Tower of Power were one of the groups out of Oakland, and then, of course, you got Malo out of the Bay Area and stuff. So there was more groups, but they were mostly known underground. A lot of people didn't know about them and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, Mark Anthony kind of just laced me up on a lot of game, bro, when it came to knowing about taking it to the next level, so to speak,
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to know anything about the Moments. I didn't want to know anything about Mary Wells, Brenton Wood.
Yeah.
You know,
It gets deeper than
I
that.
want to. Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
know what. Okay, there's got to be something else beyond this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sure enough, man, he was one of the ones that was kind of lacing me up on it, bro. And then, you know, I was always listening to his radio show constantly, bro. And then until one day he kind of told me, he goes, guess what, man? I see you're building your collection and starting to grow. How would you feel about coming into the radio station and having your own program? I'm like, really? I was hyped, bro. I was like, count me in. I'm in, bro.
Oh, shit.
What do I need to do or what? I mean, he's like, well, first things foremost, this is going to be like a volunteering experience for you. You will have to take some classes on how to work the boards, you know, and all the equalizing stuff for the radio station and how to read all the frequency meters. And, you know, it was nothing. It was a piece of cake, you know. The most important thing was just reading off the logs and then going off of just playing music, you know. So I did that for about a year. You know, I was having a program called Tuesdays with Mr. Soul Seeker, you know, playing sweet soul rolas, you know. So my show was from 11 p.m. till 2 o'clock in the morning.
You got any recordings of those?
Actually, you know what? I still do. I still have a stack of CDs like this.
Okay.
About this big, of nothing but the shows that I had recorded. You know, I actually have shows with Mark Anthony. You know, with sitting down with me like me and you.
Yeah.
Just talking about records.
Okay.
And
Nice,
the music
nice.
and stuff.
I would like to hear some of that.
Yeah.
Just me personally. You know
yeah.
what I
No.
mean?
I still have have those. You know, and
yeah, it's interesting, bro.
yeah, I
Liking the
went for
stories
about
so
a
far.
year doing that, and it was cool. It was a fun experiences for me. You know, I had a lot of calls to where people were giving me props, man. They were like, "Hey, man, you're playing some good shit, bro."
Right on.
He's all, "Hey, I've never heard of that rola," you know, and I was just
Yeah.
kind of just in the back, dude. I could see Mark just, "Hey, man, you know, you're giving them too much." He's all, "Kind of slow it down," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
but I was excited, bro. I was hyped. I was like,
hell
you know
yeah,
what? I gotta
yeah.
get this shit rolling, you know?
Yeah.
He's all, because I'm the type of person, you know, I like to share music. You know what I'm saying?
On, yeah,
I like to share music, and I like people to just gravitate to it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that knows, you know what? Hey, ask me any questions you want, bro. I mean, if I can influence another collector to, hey, man, I want to know, you know, give me some history on it, and we'll take it from there, you know? Like the way they told me, the way I was laced up,
Yeah.
I would like to lace somebody else
Oh yeah,
in the same format, you know?
Music brings people together, you know.
Exactly,
so,
bro.
Like how you said you called him and look, you guys hooked up. So that's
Yeah.
based on music, you know what I mean?
And it's all based off music,
Yeah.
and then we just connected from there, bro. And then
Nice.
yeah, but he was I can honestly say that he was one of my mentors. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He was like one of the main characters that actually, you know, sat there and gave me the fundamentals of record collecting and grading and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
was
shout
cool.
out to him, man. Rest in peace.
yeah, rest in peace, Mark Anthony Sanchez, the original Bad Boy Sounds right there, man.
Yeah, right
You
on.
know?
That's a good little story, man. Interesting. So yeah, he laced you up on that. So when did you start collecting though? At what age do you remember? If you don't remember, it's cool. But I'm just saying, like, when did you start collecting, like, heavy, getting into it, real deep?
Heavy? I would say around 2006 is when I started picking up the heavy duty records.
Okay.
You know, the ones that I by that time I already had met several collectors from LA, the Bay Area. I got introduced to Nick Aguirre out of the Bay Area. Shout out to Nick. Tommy Siqueiro, rest in peace. You know, he was one of the ones that laced me up on a lot of record collecting, you know, out of San Jose. Sal Rodriguez out of Los Angeles, another great mentor. I kind of just went off and off with him, conversating, you know. There was times where I would switch different numbers, you know, so I kind of lost touch with him. But he was one of the ones that laced me up also on a lot of these heavy-duty records. You know, and rest in peace to Mr. Sal Rodriguez. He was part of a label called Lost Soul Records, which later on during They put out a 15 or I want to say 18 series of compilations of nothing but underground rare oldies, bro. They were called Lost Soul Oldies. It was him and Robert Ramos and then George Miller Jr. You know, so them three cats, you know, they put out this compilation where I kind of based off of, you know, because I started looking for records that were featured in those compilations, you know, and I just started picking up records here and there, bro, calling up people, and then, you know, hey man, you know, what's the deal with this record, you know, where can I find it, you know, or whatnot. 2006, I want to say by that time was I think eBay started kicking off. It was already out, but you know, I started getting a lot of records off of eBay, which was one of the main sources to get records, you know, because a lot of the records were being
and this is
sold.
just at that time, though, right?
And this was just at that time,
okay,
you know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's when I started actually picking up the heavy stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
right on. So, I may have asked you this, but you let me know if I did. But because I think you might have touched on it. But anyway, what got you into collecting the records? Was it that day you heard that Mark Anthony's radio station?
Yeah, that's actually when I actually started collecting.
Okay, so yeah, I kind of figured I already asked you that. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to make sure because, like I said, I mean, I don't want you to answer the
No, it's all good. It's all good, brother.
Okay. So I remember you were saying something about like the rare soul scene. How did that come about?
Well, with the rare soul scene, didn't really, to my knowledge, bro, to my education, I want to say the rare soul scene started kicking off during 2010. I may be wrong, or 2009. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't quote me on that, but there was a movement going on in San Jose. It was called the Soletos Ball. You know, they had a bunch of collectors come together and then, you know, spin their collection, their records.
Oh,
you
shit,
know,
that's tight.
So they would go there. You know, LA started doing the same thing. You know, they started having their own thing, and you know, that's how it became a movement, bro. A lot of collectors from everywhere, all over California, north and south, bro, started, you know, making these functions, bro, having collectors go out there and just spin their favorite 45s, you know, records and stuff, which was a cool thing, you know. I never got the chance to, you know, go out of my way to go and spin, you know. At that time, it wasn't my thing, but at the same time, it was, you know. I kind of just was going through a lot of you know, chaos, family issues and stuff like that. So I kind of just, you know what, I sat back and enjoyed it, watching it through YouTube, you know, seeing other collectors getting down, you know, playing their favorite rolas, you know, and that's basically how the scene became about, you know, and it just started growing. A lot of people started getting into the habit of collecting records, you know, and stuff like that. So it started growing and growing during the years up until now, you know.
Yeah. So what would you say that were they like say age groups? Was it mostly older people, like middle-aged people, or young kids, or is just a variety?
I would say it was just a variety. You know, not young, but I would just say a variety from, you know, people from their mid-20s to, you know, OG veteranos, bro. Just,
yeah, because
you know,
when you say that, like, old soul, like, I mean, I get the picture. That's why I asked that, like, an older crowd. You know,
it was an older crowd, and
it
was also a lowrider crowd that gravitated all in one building. You know, and you got, you know, 7, 8 collectors there on the turntables just playing oldies. You know, for the people there, you know.
So it kind of reminds me of you ever see those Comic-Cons where they always go to like the conventions like that? Well, It reminds me of a Comic-Con, but with records and shit.
But with records, yeah.
So that's what I was imagining when you were telling that story. That's tight though.
Yeah,
man.
No,
that's cool because like I said, you meet different kind of cats at that shit, and you guys just talk about music. That's dope, bro. Oh, the next question I wanted to ask you was, what's the difference between the sweet soul and the oldies?
Sweet soul is basically group harmony with a background, you know, group behind a high-pitched lead singer. You know, they have that smooth, solid ballad sound, early 70s, late 60s, around that time frame. I consider that sweet soul. Oldies, to me, I know there's a term out there that they use that's been used for a couple of years now. They call it soldies. I kind of don't gravitate to that much. To me, music is just music. A lot of people like to just entitle it to what it is. Oldies to me is something like rhythm and blues, rockabilly, rock and roll. To me, that's oldies. But at the same time, it falls under the same format, with all the Motown sounds and stuff like that. So, you could call it what you want, you know what I'm saying? But to me, I've always considered it, to me, sweet soul rolas or, oh man, that's a badass sweet soul right there, That's just how I look at it, from my perspective.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a DJ? Or, well, not you, basically, but do collectors consider yourself DJs?
Not necessarily, bro. That's different from... See, a DJ mixes and blends, songs. Collector is basically a collector, bro. When you're in the soul scene, you're playing records to what other people in that crowd can relate to. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a specific rola that attaches to you, and you're playing it. You're not necessarily going off of the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not a DJ, you're a collector. So when you're a rare soul collector, you're basically playing, the jams that you adopt to that just hit you in the bottom of your soul. You know what I'm saying? So people can relate to that. And I think that's where a lot of people are getting confused to where, soul collectors are also DJs. That's not the get down right there. To me, a DJ is a DJ, a soul collector is a soul collector. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's just how I look at it from my point of view.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like you're saying that how the DJs blend stuff and
they go off of the BPMs. They see a DJ. I mean, I'm not too knowledgeable on that side. I'm just kind of just going off of what I see. You know what I'm saying? A DJ to me is just, he goes off with the crowd. Yeah. Rare soul collector is different from being a DJ. You're at a function with, you got 30 to 50 people in one crowd, and they're playing your music from your collection. And people are just either getting down or just kicking back, listening to you, the rolas that you're playing. And that's all it needs to be,
Right on.
DJing is just it's more of a club thing, so to speak,
So how many records would you say you have right now in your collection? What's the count on it? Just off the top of your head.
Off the top, man.
It's a ballpark figure. It don't got to be an exact.
Yeah, I don't really have a number, bro. Okay. All I know is
so it's over. Let's say over 30.
Oh yeah, way more than 30, bro.
Wow. Okay, 50.
I would kind of say it's in the thousands.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying?
I'm way off. Forgive me.
No. Yeah, bro.
I said 50. He said 1,000.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said,
that's a serious collector, ladies and gentlemen.
But at the same time, like I said, I did take a break. From 2012 up to 2020. Okay. So during that time I did miss out on a lot of records because I was up on game, bro, keeping up with everyone else. Call me a stalker or whatever, but man, I was seeing the sales on these records that were just going skyrocket high, bro. People were paying $200-$300 for a $40 record. Recently. And then...
So what is the increase on that? Because I remember earlier you said, you were paying 25 to 50 cents to them.
Exactly.
What made the prices jump from that to the what would you say, 1,000 or $200 right now?
From $200 to almost $3,000.
Whoa, but see, what's can you break that down a little bit? With your knowledge, what made them skyrocket so high?
It's the demand of that record. The demand on that specific rola. You know what I'm saying? For example, the webs. It's hard to break a habit. That record right there, I should say that Rola was featured on a compilation called Gangster Soul Harmony, put out by George Miller Jr. So, and I'm just using this as an example. You know, that record right there, I picked up that record a long time ago for about, I want to say I paid $40 for it, for a VG plus copy. It's not in my collection no more. You know, it's I sold it years back, but those are one of the records that started peaking those 100 digits, bro. It started going up and up and up during the years. Why? Because there was new collectors in the scene. People wanted that song. Okay. They didn't want the compilation. They wanted that record. They wanted the actual record. So, you know, there was quantity out there, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You know, there was. I know a few collectors back east where they kind of just offered that record. Hey, man, I got the webs here on Pop Side if you want it. You know, no, I already have it. You know, why am I going to pay for another record that I already have? But during that time, I was like, you know what? I should have gotten it, you know, and kind of just made a little extra money, you know, selling it to another collector that's coming up, you know. But over the years, that record's peaked to where it's selling at the hundreds, $200, $300 for that record. A stone mint copy of it, you know, and then not just that record itself, bro. I mean, it all boils down to how the in demand of that specific song of that record, you know. And you gotta think about it too. Like, you know, a lot of these records, there weren't many of them. You know, you only have a small quantity of them. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I can honestly say, man, the price range on records now are just ridiculous, bro. I know for a fact there's somebody out there playing kid games when it comes to, you know, betting on these underground records. You know, records that were once $300 10 years ago are now going in the thousands. You know, it's just an insane hobby. You know, and I debated on myself coming back to where, okay, you know what? It's 2020. We're in this pandemic. You know, a lot of people are selling the records online. You know, I understand there's, you know, it's hard times right now. You know, and I started picking up a lot of stuff. You know, even stuff that I already had in my collection. You know, I had to get copies of. You know what I'm saying? But over the years, man, from that period of time when I took a break, a lot of these records were going up and up and up to the thousands, bro. And I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. But hey, it sucks that I know I should quote this from my boy saying, you know what, they've stolen the love of, you know, attaching yourself to that specific rola. It became a business more than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it sucks, bro. All I gotta say is, you know, the game's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
But hey, okay? So you said you got 1,000. Like, let's just say in the thousands. Do you collect anything other than the vinyls? Actually,
I do, bro. I'm a big time sports fanatic. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we all have our Fort Rushmore teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a Raider fan. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a Laker fan and a San Jose Sharks fan. You know, but I'm also a sports fanatic. You know, I collect jerseys. I collect, I guess you could call it memorabilia. You know, I collect a lot of the Mitchell and Ness.
I see jerseys. The fit you got on, the Cleveland
Indians. Yeah.
Nice fit right there.
Hell yeah.
I thought you were, when you said the Yankees, I was like, well, you got the Cleveland stuff on.
Yeah, no, man.
I get it now. You said you're a collector.
I keep up with the key players, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I collect a lot of hats. You know, I like to kind of just keep that swag, you know, matching the hat and the matching jersey stuff.
Absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely.
So I collect jerseys. As far as records and stuff, I have a whole set of baseball cards from back in the days when I was a teenager. I used to collect all that, you know. Who knows what they're worth now, you know what I'm saying? I may just exchange that for some records. You never know. But
See, you're the same way with records like I am to movies. I got like, I man, like let's just say like probably like 500 movies. That's just because I started collecting them, but then my kids broke some. You know how kids are; they get it, scratch them up. So I would have had more, but I understand what like you said. It's people made it a business, and that's not cool because like you're there because you connect to that song or you connect to that movie. But it is what it is.
I mean, I have my little stack of DVD collections too.
Yeah.
I like a lot of 80 movies, funny movies like that.
The new shit today is just like I don't know. It's weird, bro. Too much CGI for me. Too much CGI. I'm not knocking CGI or nothing. Hey, if that's your forte, then it is. But like I said, I like the old school acting. Like you said, the 80s. Like remember the other day we were talking about. What was it? That one, 3 O'Clock High? Remember that shit?
High, yeah. Dude, that's one movie that never gets old, man.
I know.
It's like I said, they don't make them like they used to.
If they do, they copy them. Because didn't Ice Cube, the one that Ice Cube did was that Fight Day. That kind of reminded me of that.
That kind of did remind me of
I think that's where they got the fucking concept from, bro.
I think he did.
Yeah, because I was like, that's just two where the dude's trying to run away from getting his ass beat all day, and then they eventually fight. That's fucking 3 O'Clock High all the way.
And then, the way Ice Cube put it together was more of him being what was he, a teacher? Or
yeah, well, they were both teachers. I think he was a new teacher, and he was like a bully teacher, though, and shit. So.
Yeah. Now,
I mean,
shout out.
Yeah, go ahead.
3 O'Clock High all day, bro.
All day,
I just got to say,
day,
shout out to Ice Cube, though.
Yeah, shout out to Ice Cube. He did his thing. He's bringing it for a newer audience. But, like, with us, we know the get down. We know what the real one is. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
All right. That's cool. So, correct me if I'm saying this wrong. Solerio or
Soleto?
Soleto. Where'd that name come from?
That name was invented by a group of soul collectors out of the Bay Area. Okay. It became it just became part of the movement with the Soletos Ball, and collectors coming together. So they kind of just adopted that name. You didn't have. I mean, there was cases where some folks would say you have to earn that name, as you're progressing in your collection. But I think it's open to just anyone. You know what I'm saying? But that's basically where that term Soleto or Solera, came about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Yeah, right on. Hey, so you never been to none of those though, huh? Like those balls they have, or
no, I never.
Or those conventions, I would say.
I never attended any. I mean, there was I had friends, that would go down to those conventions, and they would see other collectors get down, and playing their 45s. I did go to one in LA. I just kind of just showed up randomly, and I was just peeping the scene. I was just kind of in the back. Nobody knew who I was. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of heads that I didn't know that I did work with. So, and that was that. But, yeah, man, now you got a segment of groups, doing their thing, And this is in the LA area and as well as the Bay Area too, So they're doing their thing.
All right, so I want to ask you this, and I think this one's probably like... well, for me to ask you, I think this is probably one of the most important questions is what does collecting mean to you?
Collecting is life, bro. It means dedication, bro. To me, it's just when you're listening to a specific songs, just you can relate to, you know what I'm saying? And the aspect of collecting is more than just the rola itself. I would kind of just say, what? It's something. It's like a junkie, bro. Wanting that tart up their fucking veins and shit. That's how I look at it. I have to have that record. I'm constantly on all these sources on the internet looking for records, talking to collectors. So to me, the way I look at it, man, it's just it's a hard habit to break, man.
Right on. I like that analogy how you used about the heroin addict.
Heroin addict, man. For real, bro.
It's fucked up, but hey, it's the truth, bro.
It's the truth. And
they need that shit every fucking day.
Yeah, just like I need vinyl every day, man. I mean, especially right now, it's kind of rough because, you know, during the heat, I normally don't order too much records. For the simple fact, you know, they could come in the mail all warped or whatever and stuff like that. So I kind of just, you know, kick back during the summer while I'm collecting records. So yeah, it's fucked up, man.
I can't remember where I heard this, but well, let me ask you, since you're here and you know about that shit. The sound from the record and the sound from a CD, which sounds better to you? I like. Before you answer that, I like the way that, you know, when you put the needle on the record and you can hear that popping noise and it goes, that's the shit I like. I like that sound, but
bacon, they call it the frying bacon.
Oh, sound. Is that what it's called? See, I never knew that. Yeah, so that's the frying bacon sound. Okay.
The frying bacon sound and stuff. To me, honestly, I gotta grow with vinyl. You know, records are the sound is just more unique. You know, and especially the equipment you have. The way your ACA jacks or whatever are connected properly, you know, you get that mono stereo sound or whatever the case may be. Getting it from the vinyl source, the grooves just picks up every sound, bro. You'll hear an authenticity of a sound from a record than a compact disc. A CD is more compressed, bro. Okay. The way they do it is they chop off the highs, they chop off the lows, and they just compress everything. Okay. The way CDs work, the way the sound is on the CD. I mean, to me, it's records over CDs all day. You know what I'm saying? But you'll get a better sound off of vinyl than a CD, because a CD to me just sounds flat, and that's just my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so what do you think made the like kind of come to full circle? Because I've noticed that, man, when I go to, like, let's just say a Target basically, because I don't know if I've seen it in Walmart, but I've seen they're making a comeback with the fucking vinyl, bro. Like, they'll have like but they're the big fucking records.
Talking about the LPs.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the craze for that? Why do you think they came full circle? Or they just want to put them out there because, like you said, there's a boom of collectors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said before earlier, you know, it sort of became like a pop culture thing. You know what I'm saying? Years back, talking 10 years, you know, you just had certain individuals collecting records. You know, they were all around, but they weren't just like it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I went to Walmart just the other day, man, and I seen a Prince album. I seen a Michael Jackson album.
The Michael Jackson, I've seen those ones, yeah.
But to me, those are repressed albums. They're not original. You know what I'm saying? And they brought those back because, you know, they kind of just, you know, you got collectors now that say, okay, you know what, if I can't find the original one, then I have this. I could find this at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? And then just go from there. You know, there's something for everybody, you know, nowadays.
Yeah, okay.
But that kind of just made a comeback.
I know. I've seen
that. Records on, you know, at Target, Walmart, and I'm like, whoa, you know, what's going on, you know? And they're not even paying attention to the CDs. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised they're still on the shelves. I just seen them recently.
Hey, you know what? I wanted to ask you. You ever been to? You know what Rasputin's is?
Oh yeah.
Have you been? I was gonna tell you. Yeah. Well, they got one in Fresno, and they also got one in Modesto. Or now I think they call it the Mad Monks. They changed the name, but it was a Rasputin's before.
Okay.
But I was gonna tell you, bro. You probably but you said you know about it, so I was gonna say you should go check those spots out because, like, I'm a movie collector. I go there. They got all the old shit, and then they got hella records. Yeah, like I don't really know too much about records, but you might go in there and find something or
shoot, man. You gotta tell me twice, brother.
So I say, hey, fool, that's like a fucking we're kids in a candy store.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? For you, for the records, me for the movies, bro. They got fucking everything. And I always take my lady, and I know my lady, I love her, man. She's a trooper, because, bro, when I go in there, I could stay for fucking hours, bro. And I know she's like, what's this motherfucker doing? Like, bro, I would sit there and go through all of them, bro, and I'll see these movies, and it'll bring back so many fucking memories. And I don't know, man. It's just like collecting this shit, bro.
Like if you collect DVDs, it's the same.
Yeah, man.
It's the same energy when collecting DVDs and records. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what
you kind of get lost in it, huh?
Yeah.
You
most definitely, man. I remember I used to go to Modesto. There used to be a record shop called Salties. I don't know if you ever.
I don't think I heard of that one. No.
I used to go there. I think I went the last time I went. The lady, I think she ended up passing away, or I don't know what happened, but it's already shut down. But I used to go to Salty's, bro, and I used to go there, and I would just look for records, and I'm like, what's all the good stuff? I know you got the good shit, Like I said, I'm
what's under the counter there?
I'm a vinyl junkie, bro. I gotta have that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right on.
And she straight out told me one day, she goes, you know what? I'm only letting the Japanese, the British, everybody that's overseas back there. I go, what do you mean? So I can't go back there? My money's not green or what? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? He said, no, they have the top dollar, they'll buy off of me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm over here feeling stereotype, and this is I've been going there for years, and all of a sudden I can't even go back there.
Yeah.
But you're letting, these guys from London, these guys across sea, like from Japan, China,
overseas,
to come, check out the records. You know what I'm saying? Is I got money to spend. You acting like my money's not green. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But after that, I just stopped going, bro. And I know for a fact there was she had a lot of good stuff back then, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, dude, why? I mean,
that's fucked up.
It's fucked up, yeah. And R.I.P. to Mark Anthony was one of the ones that, told me about that record shop, because that's one spot you need to go. You know what I'm saying? But one thing he did not tell me, that the lady would act like a jerk like that. Because she was cool, but there was times when I would go, she would just act like a straight, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to call out of her name, brother, but I'm like, dude,
you guys know what he means. Okay, all right, so last question, man. What's your top 5 records in your collection?
Top 5 or top 500?
Well, let's just do 5, because I know you could be here all day, but let's just do 5.
Okay, I'll start off with the Fabulous Filtrations on the D-Clef label. It's a one-sided label out of, I want to say, New Jersey. And I've been on a hunt for that record ever since I heard it on the Rich Rosen compilation, excuse me. Rich Rosen's another collector. He's actually a seller also. He's got his own record shop in Las Vegas called Wax Tracks.
Okay.
So he started putting out mini compilations back in the 90s and stuff. And the Fabulous Filtrations, I was always after that record. And mind you that there's a handful of collectors that have that specific record that I have. And there's only like 4 or 5 known personally that I know that have it. And me being one of them. So I would say that's one of my top 5. Another one is it's I don't even want to give out the names to these, bro, because I don't want collectors to go right after it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But another one that's on my top 5 is a group called the Siberians on Ricardo. Okay. That's always been one of my favorite records. That's on my top 5. And then another one would have to be, I would say there's one on a label called Selma.
Okay.
It's a singer named Nat Brown. That's another one off of my collection that's pretty good. Off of my top 5. And then I got 2 more, brother. Man, I'm about to put the nail in the coffin with this one, brother. Man, you're making it hard for me. I'll see, and that's the thing when it comes to record collectors, bro. We have to be kind of just under the radar type, We can't expose too much.
Okay.
Not just because if I can vibe with another collector to where we have an understanding, we're on the same level, and you know what I'm saying, and we could just, hey, ¿sabes qué? Here, check this one out, you know, and I'll give out the info, whatever. Okay. But man, there's just so many, bro.
Well, that's cool. We'll leave it at that. We don't want to give away the good shit. We don't want, you know what I mean? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Arsoulnal, I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you, brother.
Dropping your knowledge on me. I learned a lot of stuff here today that I never knew. Just for instance, the frying bacon.
The fried bacon sound.
The fried bacon sound. See, I never knew that shit, but I always liked that sound. But once again, After Dark podcast, special guest today, Arsoulnal. Thank you, brother. Any last things you want to say before we wrap it up?
I just want to give a couple shout outs. You know, shout out to George Miller Jr. out of Sons of Soul Records. He's based out of Los Angeles. Shout out to David Capone, another good righteous collector right there. Shout out to all the Soleto collectors out of the Bay Area. There's too many to name. Shout out to everybody in LA that's record collecting, you know, from east to west. Man, it's just, I don't want to leave anybody out, you know. Shout out to this crew out there, man. OC Soul, my boys out there, Ruben, Noe, Robert, and Roland, man. They're a good gente right there, bro. Shout out to them. Shout out to Luda. He's another good record collector out of Wilmington. And just a bunch of guys out there, man. I don't want to, you know, sound like I missed anybody, but shout out to all the record collectors up and down California, man.
Right on. All right, thank you everybody for tuning in. After Dark podcast, like, subscribe, and you guys have a good night. We out.
Yep.